What's good, YouTube? So on today's video, this is actually going to be a very important topic that many men need to hear about, because mental health is it's a huge problem nowadays. There are so many people all around the world who are, depressed and lonely and confused and just struggling their way through life. And it's truly sad to see. It really is. So I wanted to make this video because I've seen a lot of the mental health videos on YouTube, and I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of them are kind of terrible. They're kind of shitty. So I wanted to provide some uncommon advice about how to improve your mental health. You probably won't have seen a lot of these tips in other videos, but I think that these are the most important things for any guy who's trying to improve his mental health. So without further ado, these are 4 tips for how to improve your mental health, specifically for men, but these also carry over for women as well. But again, my target audience is men, so that's kind of what my target demographic is here with this video as well. Anyways, tip number 1, strategy number 1, is to have a mission and a purpose that you are working towards in your life. Now, when I look back at my own life, I have been confused, depressed, lost, sitting in bed, crying all day at different points in my life. Like I have went through struggle. But it's crazy because I've been to jail. I've been bankrupt. I've been stabbed in the back by some of my closest friends. Like I've been through struggle. But the times in my life when I have felt the most lost and sad isn't during those times. It's been when I have no mission that I'm working towards in my life. I felt better in jail, and I felt better when I was bankrupt, because even then, during those times, I had a mission that I was working towards. I felt like there was something that I was moving towards in my life. But when I felt truly shitty and lost in my life is at the times when I was just sitting in bed all day watching YouTube or playing video games or watching pornography, and I didn't have a mission that I was working towards. And what you need to realize is this: as men in this world, we are made to go out and to conquer. We are made to go out and to perform in this world. And when we don't do that, we begin to feel lost. We begin to feel depressed. We begin to feel like our life is amounting to nothing. But that's self-imposed, because we all have the power to change and to choose a mission in this world. And when I say mission or purpose, I don't mean that in like the new age spiritual like sense of, oh, this is my passion. This is what I have to do for my entire life. Like, no, it's not about that. If you are currently lost in life and you don't have anything that you're working towards, then simply choose something. It doesn't need to be something that you're going to work. You don't need to focus on that for the next 10, 20 years of your life. That's not how it works. But just choose something for now. And as you focus on that and begin taking action, that will lead you to the next thing, and that will lead you to the next thing. But if you just sit in bed all day, just being your dick and playing video games, you're never going to move forward. You have to commit yourself to something in this life. You have to commit to something in this life. It's not going to be your forever thing. You might not be doing it in 5 years or in 10 years or in 20 years, but it's better to commit yourself to something so that you have something to focus your mind on. I have went through evolution of so many different stages in my life. I've started 8, 9 different businesses. I have switched paths so many times, but each time I did that, it brought me a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer to what I wanted to be to what I wanted to be doing long term. But you have to commit yourself to something. And when you have that focus, it improves your mental health so much, because it makes you feel like you are like you're truly doing something to make your life better, to make your family's lives better, and to make the world in general just a more, to put yourself out into the world in a positive way and to share your value with the world at large. That's what it does. Versus just, and it's much better to have that feeling of fulfillment and contribution to the world opposed to having the feeling of just consuming the world through your phone all day or watching porn all day and feeling empty and sad afterwards. You have to go out and do something. So my first and biggest tip for improving your mental health is to choose a path and to focus your all on that. Choose a path and dive deep into it. That will improve your mental health so much. It will. Now, tip number 2. You need to have genuine friends in your life, okay? Life is not meant to be a lonely adventure. We are put on this earth to connect, and we are social animals, and we need a tribe of people around us. So it's important to find not just friends, but genuine friends who are on the same exact path as you, because it's almost better to be alone than to be around people who you aren't on the same wavelength as and people who are dragging you down. But even with that being the case, it's so much better to be surrounded by genuine friends who are ambitious and who have very similar values. That's so much better than just being a lone wolf. So the question then becomes, how do you do that? Like, if you are currently at a place in life where you are struggling to find that group of true friends, how do you build that? And my first piece of advice is to first build yourself into a man who would fit into the type of social circle that you are looking for. For example, if you are looking to be surrounded by men who are strong physically and who are mentally disciplined and who are positive people and who are happy and fun to be around, then you need to be a strong man who is in the gym, who is mentally disciplined, who is happy and positive and fun to be around. You have to become the type of man that you want to be around, because that will naturally attract them into your life. But beyond that, you then need to ask, where do these type of people congregate? Where do the strong men congregate? Where do the mentally disciplined people congregate? Where do they go? And in my life, what I've noticed is that I've found my closest friends in the gym, at business groups, at Toastmasters and public speaking groups. I find my closest friends in these places where people go to build their value. It's so simple. If you are a person who is focused on improving your life, you are going to be in these places. If someone wants to expand their knowledge, they're going to be in their library. If someone wants to improve their body, they're going to be in the gym. If someone wants to grow a business, they're going to be at these business conferences. So if you put yourself in these places, you are naturally going to meet these people. So just change the places where you make friends. Simple. If you're in college, then join classes where you can find people who are on these similar wavelengths. Or join clubs where you can find people who are on these similar wavelengths. And it's interesting because nowadays men try to be so macho and I don't need nobody. But nigga, like, what you got to realize is this: they've done census reports all across the world in so many different countries, and one of the things that comes out from the results of these is they have statistically found the factors that have the greatest impact on self-reported life satisfaction rates. So to break that down into simpler terms, When people rate themselves as being very happy in life, there are certain factors that are consistently in place. And one of the top three factors is having genuine friends. In every country, the people who rate themselves as being the happiest are the people who have a strong tribe of friends around them, friends and family around them. So for someone to try to neglect that aspect of life just leaves them unfulfilled and feeling like something is missing, because our friends and our family and the people around us, it truly makes life, you know? Like it's so important to have the right tribe around you. It has such a massive impact on our lives and on our happiness and on our mental health. People can bring us up or they can take us down. So if you want to improve your mental health, then focus on bringing the right people around you. And that'll do so much for your mental health. So much. Anyways, moving on. Number 3, do not use your phone an hour before bed and an hour after waking up. And this is probably the most instant fix that anyone can implement, but it's also one of the things that I think that most people are going to just skip over. And that's very problematic, because what we need to realize is that so our sleep and how well we sleep has such a massive impact on how we perform during the day and on our mental health and on just how we feel in general. Our sleep is when we sleep, our body has a chance to repair all of its mental faculties and to just recover from all the craziness of the day. And if your sleep is messed up because you're watching your phone right before you go to sleep, that blue light messes up your sleep. It destroys your sleep. So now your body can't fully repair itself while you're sleeping. So you feel worse the next day and you feel off the next day. And then you repeat that same thing the next day and you're up the next night watching your phone again and you feel even worse the next day. And you keep doing this for days and days and weeks and months and years on end. And you wonder why you feel shitty. It's because all of that blue light is destroying your sleep quality, and now you can't sleep properly, and now your body is just, we're not meant to do that. We aren't. And it's not just before sleep, it's about when you wake up as well, because our body, to break this down to, there's a lot of science behind this, but to break it down to the simple level so that anyone can understand it, when you first wake up, your body sets its circadian rhythm based on what you do early on in the morning. So the best way to prepare your body for the day ahead and to wake yourself up and to build the foundation for having a positive mood all throughout the day is to go out into nature and to be out in the sun. Because when we go out into the sun, there's certain signals that the sun sends our eyes. And when our eyes receive those signals, it tells our body that it's time to be awake. And that essentially sets our circadian rhythm, and that impacts our mentality and our mood and our mental health and so on and so forth. But if you instead just stay inside in the dark when you first wake up and you're immediately on your phone, just scrolling through YouTube or scrolling through Instagram, or doing whatever on your phone instead of going out into sunlight, then for the entire day, your mood is just off. You just feel off throughout the entire day. And in my own life, I have very recently, like within the past few months, I've made an effort to, for the first hour of the day, just to leave my phone off, completely ignore it. And I just walk outside and sit outside in the sun, reading a book or meditating or listening to the birds chirp and just watching nature. And it has made such a massive impact on my mental clarity and my focus and my happiness. Life just feels better. It does. And if you want to improve your mental health, this is one of the simplest things you can do. but it has such a massive impact, I promise you. So that's my third tip, my third strategy rather, for improving your mental health. And the fourth and final tip is to get 120 to 150 minutes of exercise every week. Now, there have been different studies conducted all across the world that show that when you do anywhere between 2 hours to 2.5 hours of exercise every week, specifically in zone 2 of exercise, that helps you to improve your mental health. Now, the question there is, what is zone 2 exercise? So when they say zone 2 exercise, they're talking about exercise that's intense enough to cause you to breathe a bit heavily, but you can still talk. So that might be a light jog, or playing basketball, or playing volleyball, or working out in the gym. All those are typically zone 2 exercise. And these studies have shown that when you perform 2 hours to 2.5 hours of exercise in that zone every week, it has a massive impact and a massive improvement on your mental health. So get your exercise every week and watch how your health improves and how your mental health improves through that process. But anyways, those are my 4 tips for improving your mental health. I highly, highly, highly suggest you put in the work into these areas because they are so powerful, man. And people overlook the importance of their mental health so much. Like, mental health is so, so, so important. And we like to think as men that we are untouchable, that we just can't be hurt. And that's not the case, man. Like, one of the best things that you can do for yourself as a man is realize that you have limitations, that you need to take care of yourself. You need to. And one of the best ways to take care of yourself is to improve your mental health, because our mental space, our mind is the pair of glasses that we view the world through. And if you have a dark pair of glasses and everything just seems, if you have a dark pair of glasses, then life just becomes gloomy and sad and dark and dreary. But if you have the bright glasses on, life becomes happy, it becomes positive, it becomes alive. But that's all through life isn't changing. It's just the glasses that are changing. And if you can improve your mindset and become a happier, more mentally healthy individual, then even if your life doesn't change much objectively, it can still become more enjoyable simply because your mind changed, simply because your mental health improved. So I highly encourage you to put in the work to improve your mental health, because it's worth it, man. It truly is worth it. It takes time. It's not an overnight thing. But when you put in the work for a little bit of time and you see that your life has changed and that you just feel happier at a baseline level, it becomes so worth it. So put in the work and watch how your life changes. I know you can do this. It's going to be worth it. Best of luck on your journey. Godspeed. Oh, wait. Actually, never forget that consistency creates kings. And if you are not consistent in the areas of your life that matter the most to you, then you are not going to see results in your life. Now, my name is Alan Woods. I'm 23 years old, and I make videos all about men's self-improvement topics, focusing on the areas of mental health, financial freedom and abundance, women and dating, fitness, and a couple other things as well. So if you want to learn more about each of these areas and truly master your life in each and every single area, then I highly suggest that you right now click down below on my channel name, take a quick scroll through my videos, and I know you will fall in love. I know you will. Anyways, peace out, gentlemen. I'll see you in the next video.